People are in there.
And what you folks just heard there was a Captain Sunder standard salute, a communication that was initiated by Sunder and returned by the aerial lift bridge. The first boat for the Festival of Sail was the Sunder, built in 1944 by the Marine Iron and Shipbuilding Company of Duluth, Minnesota. She measures 180 feet in length, 37 feet in width, and 13 feet in depth. She's powered by 2,000 horsepower, 8-cylinder Detroit diesel engines, which give her a top speed of 13 knots, or about 15 miles per hour. She is also equipped with a bow thruster to aid maneuverability in port. On deck is a 20-ton boom with a hydraulic hoist, and she is currently owned and operated by Duluth residents who bought the vessel from the city in 2009. The Sunder, built in 1944. The next boat we're approaching is the Zeeto. The Zeeto is a 3-masted, bald-headed turn schooner built in 1957 in Sarasota, Florida. She measures 65 feet in length, 14 feet in width, and 7 feet in depth. She has 4 sails that have a total area of 1,375 square feet, and her rigging features a gaff-headed main and foresail, a macaroni mizzen, and a club-footed jib. The Zeeto was built by architect Ralph Zimmerman, loosely based on the mid-19th century fishing schooners of New England. The name means long live the king in Greek. After having various owners on the Atlantic, she was sailed up to Cornucopia, Wisconsin, east of Duluth, from Baltimore, Maryland in 1997 by Duluthian Alex Kramer. She was recently purchased by the nonprofit education-based Lake Superior Tall Ships Incorporated in Bayfield, Wisconsin in 2023 to take more kids on educational Lake Superior adventures. The next vessel arriving through the Duluth Canal is the Abbey Road, launched in 1989 from Blue Water Yacht Builders Limited of Taipei, Taiwan, and it was designed by William Gardner. The vessel is a Vagabond 52 stay-sail schooner with an overall length of 57 feet and a width of 13 feet and 11 inches. She boasts 5 sails and 2,400 square feet of sail. The Abbey Road operates out of Bayfield, Wisconsin as part of Lake Superior Tall Ships Incorporated. The organization lists its mission as teaching youth seamanship, personal responsibility, teamwork, and self-esteem, while building skills in leadership and citizenship, and inspiring all generations to be responsible stewards of Lake Superior. Once again, the next vessel is the Abbey Road, which was built in 1989, and it's a Vagabond 52 stay-sail schooner. The next vessel is the Liberty Clipper. The Liberty Clipper is a gaff-rigged topsail schooner. She was designed by Charles Wickholz and built in 1983 at the Duluth shipyard of Warren, Rhode Island. She measures 125 feet in length, 27 feet in width, and has a draft of 14 feet with the board down. She boasts 2 masts with 4,300 square feet of sail and is also equipped with an auxiliary Detroit 671 diesel engine. The Liberty Clipper is a steel-hulled replica of a Baltimore Clipper-style schooner with Douglas spur spars at deck. This type of ship was known for its speed and was used during the War for Independence and the War of 1812. The Liberty Clipper's home port is Boston, Massachusetts, where she participates in daily excursions and special event programs. The first boat inbound with this round of the festival sale is the Alliance. The Alliance is a steel-hulled schooner that was built in 1994 by Treyworthy Custom Boats of Palm Coast, Florida. She measures 105 feet in length, 20 feet in width, and has a draft of 8 feet. She boasts 3 masts with 2,778 square feet of sail. The Alliance was originally the Catherine B and sailed as part of a sailing fleet in Maine. In 2004, she was moved to Yorktown, Virginia, and renamed Alliance in honor of the French-American Alliance of the American Revolution. Currently, the Alliance is owned by the Inland Seas Education Association, with her home port located in Suttons Bay, Michigan. She serves as a teaching vessel for students interested in Great Lakes programming. The next vessel is the Inland Seas. The Inland Seas is a steel-hulled schooner built in 1994 in Palm Coast, Florida. She measures 62 feet in length, 17 feet in width, and 7 feet in depth. She features 2 masts that have a maximum height of 66 feet. Based out of Suttons Bay, Michigan, the Inland Seas was built for use by the Inland Seas Education Association, often hosting many education programs for youth and adults under the 5-person crew. The color of the nylon sails refers to the sails of 19th century schooners, when cotton sails were preserved with tannin. The tannin came from tan bark on certain trees, hence the unique color. The next vessel arriving is the When and If. The When and If is a wooden-hulled schooner. She was designed by naval architect John Alden and built by F.F. Pendleton of Waucasset, Maine. She measures 83 feet in length, 15 feet in width, and has a draft of 9 feet. She boasts 2 masts with 2,500 square feet of cloth on 7 sails. The When and If was commissioned by General George S. Patton with plans to sail around the world, quote, when the war is over and if I live through it. Unfortunately, General Patton died in 1945 in a car accident and was never able to sail his vessel. The When and If boasts 2 home ports, spending summers in Salem, Massachusetts, and winters in Key West, Florida. She is a privately owned vessel that can be booked for chartered tours.
Good afternoon, visitors. Now we have kind of the last wave of tall ships coming through. The first one coming through the lighthouse here is the St. Lawrence II. The St. Lawrence II is a brigantine built in 1953 by the Kingston Shipyards of Ontario in 1953. She was designed by Francis McLaughlin and Mike Eames. She measures 72 feet in length, 15 feet in width, and has a draft of 8.5 feet. She boasts 2 masts that hold 2,500 square feet of cloth over 11 sails. The St. Lawrence II's home port is in Kingston, Ontario, and is operated by Tall Ship Expeditions Canada. She is used to provide outdoor programming focused on sail education and personal development for youth. The St. Lawrence is a little bit different from the other vessels we have out here. Most of the vessels we have coming through are schooners. This is a brigantine, so they have a square sail that you can actually see coming at us. That's more kind of similar to what you'd see with what kind of a classic pirate ship looks like, or a frigate. And after that, we'll have the Charlie coming in here in just a little bit.
Good afternoon, folks. Making its way into the Duluth Ship Canal is the Charlie. The Charlie is a gaff-rigged steel schooner. She was designed by Thomas Colvin Pipistrel and built by Daniel L. Stoner of Indiana. She measures 60 feet in length, 14 feet in width, and has a draft of 8 feet. She boasts 2 masts and 3 sails. The Charlie was originally named the Journey. Her current name of Charlie is in honor of the original Charlie that transported goods and cargo along the North Shore in the late 1800s. The original Charlie ran aground in 1881 during a spring storm. Once again, folks, you have the Charlie built in 1985. And then our last vessel coming in will be the Pride of Baltimore 2. And we currently have the Pride of Baltimore 2 making its way into the Duluth Ship Canal. The Pride of Baltimore 2 is a wooden, square topsail schooner built in 1988 in Baltimore, Maryland. She measures 105 feet in length, 26 feet in width, and 12 feet in depth. She has 2 masts made of Douglas fir that stand 107 feet at maximum. Usually she has a crew complement of 12. The Pride of Baltimore 2 is a replica Baltimore clipper dated to the War of 1812 that would have been used by American privateers against the British. As a result, the vessel features replica painting on board. She was built after the first Pride of Baltimore, built in 1977, was tragically lost in a storm near Puerto Rico in 1986, along with captain and 3 crew members. She is a Goodwill Ambassador hailing from Baltimore, Maryland, that promotes historical maritime education, fosters economic development, and represents the people of Maryland in ports throughout the world. Once again, folks, the Pride of Baltimore 2, built in 1988.